Welcome to Movies, Films, and Flakes Data. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who now knows, well, kind of knows, what Miak is. It's David Cross.
Hey man, what's going on?
Dude, so this makes me so happy that you went out and wrote this. You researched, you wrote, so this is the first MFF Data episode where it hasn't been about one of my articles, it's been about yours. And I think it's perfect, and it puts a smile on my face. And when you sent this article to me, which you can read at moviesfilmsandflicks.com. Also, David is the host of Award Wieners podcast. Check it out pretty much anywhere you can check out podcasts where they watch a movie that won best picture at the Oscars, and they match it up with a food pairing involving hot dogs. It'll blow your mind. So would you put Miak on one of your hot dogs?
Would I put Miak?
Yeah.
I absolutely would, though I'm going to be honest with you, I think it would be a weird pairing. But I have made very weird hot dog recipes, so I have a stomach for it.
All right, so this article that you wrote, it's entitled, What Exactly is Authentic Bulgarian Miak? In parentheses, mostly logical explanation. So where did this come from? What was the kind of... So we recorded an episode about this movie, but like, have you been interested in Miak for a long time?
Yes. So one, I love Ernest Scared Stupid. I love it. It's probably one of my favorite kids Halloween movie. It's up there with like Hocus Pocus, and for me it's better than Hocus Pocus, but I know that's a controversial statement.
There are people smashing things right now that you said that.
There might be someone across the street with a sniper rifle. No, I love the Ernest character. I love him so much that a couple years ago, actually as a grown-ass adult, I dressed up as Ernest and went to the office on Halloween.
Oh, that's great.
No one recognized me though, which was a little sad, but I think I looked good.
If I ever did cosplay or dressed up, it would be Ernest, and I'd take a fake turtle with me and a jar of Miak.
I dressed up as Ernest from Ernest Scared Stupid, and I had a jar of Miak.
Oh, that's perfect.
I think the Miak line, or Miak from this film, is probably one of the most famous foodstuffs from, my childhood. And we used to always quote this line when we were like playing and acting things out as a child. So I just have really fond memories of authentic Bulgarian Miak and Ernest.
Now, what you did was I've tackled a lot of data, and I love how you broke down the core elements of Miak. You looked at the stoneware jar that Ernest pulled out. And so you have authentic Bulgarian Miak, but then you have from concentrate, and then you have plain. So where did you start? Like, what did you tackle first? The pure, authentic Bulgarian Miak, the from concentrate, or plain? Or did you start with the jar?
So I'll take a step back.
Okay.
Just to put you in the mindset I was in. So I wanted to figure out what Miak was, and my initial assumption was that it was some type of fruit or jam. And that's because I was looking at the jar. So I guess the answer to your question is I started with the jar. And if you look at it, it has a seal. So it has a seal, so it closes. It's not like a normal jar. It doesn't unscrew. So I spent time just trying to figure out what type of jar this was. And it turns out that it's stoneware. Specifically, it's what is known as a cheese crock. And once I figured out what the jar was, it kind of blew my mind and changed the entire process of what I was researching.
Because originally you and I thought, there are some Bulgarian, fruit stuffs, and they do have jams specific to the region, jellies. So we initially thought it was like a jelly, correct?
Yeah, I would 100% thought it was a jelly, and that I was going to just back into it and start for the premise of the jelly and then prove that it was. And I was wrong, completely wrong.
And the jelly, we did find jelly though, correct? What was the jelly that we wanted to start with that was out of Bulgaria? The medlar jelly.
Medlar jelly, yeah. And it's from, quote, bleated fruit, which means that it looks rotten, but it's not. And that is something that's pretty common in Bulgaria, and it's from, I guess, Rome. Romans brought it to Bulgaria. So, like, as you can see, I'd already researched, like, the fruit before I, started really getting into this. And I guess that proves that maybe you shouldn't have an idea of what to research before you started, actually.
Now, you really were Sherlock Holmes in this. I would say you're the Benedict Cumberbatch, not the Robert Downey Jr. of this, because you really broke this down and you used really great clues. So one great clue that I love that you took is Ernest, when he squares off with the troll, He's like, yeah, pure authentic Bulgarian Miak. I bet you didn't think I could find it at this time of year. So it's a seasonal product.
Yeah, it's a seasonal product. And what I thought about it then was, okay, for the seasonal product, and Ernest can't find it at this time of year, what time of year is it? In the movie, it's October. So that means it has to be in a different season. What's the farthest season from October, or excuse me, autumn, spring? So I was like, okay, so Miak has to relate to the spring in some way.
Wow. Now, when was your aha moment when you kind of broke down that? So your definition of Miak is a Bulgarian style flavored yogurt sauce that is commonly eaten in the spring and served with a thin pancake. What was your aha moment that kind of led you to that?
The aha moment for me when I knew that I was on, I think, the right track was when I was researching the picture itself. And on the picture, it says from concentrate. Now, typically you would think of from concentrate as meaning from a fruit or a vegetable or something like that. But when I started researching the term, I found that that could also relate to dairy products. So for example, condensed milk is an example of a concentrated dairy product. And once I knew that, I was like, oh, this is a dairy product. This is 100% a dairy product. If the jar is stoneware, if it's called a cheese crock, if from concentrate means that it could be a dairy product, this is a dairy product. And that blew everything up. And from there, it was really researching Bulgaria as a whole and its culture and seeing what type of things people in that country eat regularly, what type of things they cook regularly, what are the spices that are common. And once I had that together, I was able to just create a list and say, okay, if it's this, then this, if this, then this, and put it all together.
And the Bulgarians have a pretty interesting yogurt strain that they're well known for. So if you type Bulgarian yogurt, they compare it to a lot of different yogurts, but they have a different strain. So a condensed kind of yogurt substance would not be out of the picture because they're well known for their yogurt.
Exactly. Yeah, that was the confirmation to my initial thought. Once I was like, oh, it's a dairy product. Oh, the crock is clearly containing some type of dairy product. And that they're known for yogurt. It was like, that was it. It's a yogurt. It has to be a yogurt.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And then some of the other things I think added to that was the idea that, when you see Ernest in the movie, it's clear that he's going to throw the product in the troll's face. So it has to be, loose enough to be able to be jettisoned from the jar. So that means it's not a paste. You also don't see any powder. So it's, not a powder. It doesn't slosh about. It doesn't fall out when he drops the jar. So it's not a liquid. And it just slowly added up every time I rewatched it. Oh, this is obviously yogurt.
Yeah, that's a great point. And I was also thinking about jelly. Jelly wouldn't jettison.
Yeah, I think if it's super loose, like a jam, it might. But again, I think you'd probably have it in a different type of jar.
Got it. Yeah, we also saw that in France. There's a certain seasonal yogurt that is served in stoneware, and people love buying it to build their collection of those yogurt jars. So it's not implausible for other countries, even Bulgaria or United States, to have them in the stoneware jar.
Yes. Yeah. That once you sent me that, I was more confident in my selection. I think the area that I struggled with the most actually was deciding what flavors went into the Miak. So what I did here is I thought about how it can't just be a yogurt or a yogurt sauce. It has to have things in it to make it different, so it's worded differently. And my thinking behind this is that it's the jar's label is in English, and it's not called yogurt. It's called Miak. That makes it a very specific product.
Yes.
So I was like, it has to contain something else than yogurt. It's not like yogurt with Miak spices, or it's just Miak. So I did a lot of reading into traditional Bulgarian just spices and flavor palettes, and I had to decide on what would go in there. And what I ended up going with was a sweet paprika, honey, and spearmint. And I learned that paprika is a really big thing there. They have very different versions of it, and spearmint's a very big thing there. And I got the honey from sort of a traditional condiment. They do a honey and garlic fermentation. And so I just took the honey from there, and I ended up thinking about it as this sweet sauce. And I decided that was going to be sweet because that was another thing I had to do, because they already have a savory yogurt sauce. So I was like, you know what? Bulgaria doesn't need two super savory pancake sauces. So I was like, it has to be sweet.
That'd be kind of battling. I'm just saying it. So I think so they have their traditionally sauce. So they're not gonna. It's not like someone's gonna try to challenge Heinz ketchup. Like they're gonna want to be something different, correct?
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I love that you found that the pollution sauce.
Yeah. It looks pretty good. I mean, it's sort of tahini or not tahini, tzatziki like. Yeah.
And how'd you come up with the spearmint again?
So the spearmint's one of their main spices.
Oh, got it.
Yeah, it's used in a different word. I used the English translation of it because I couldn't pronounce it. I was like, it's equivalent to spearmint. It's spearmint. I guess the one thing that I was like sort of iffy on was the idea of what to serve it with, and I chose pancakes. And the word pancakes is a little tongue in cheek here because really they are the equivalent of crepes.
Yeah.
And when I was doing, again, my research and reading into food, like crepes are sort of a thing in Bulgaria, similar to where they are in, I believe, France. And I started then researching Ernest himself and found that he had done pancake commercials. And it set off this domino effect in my mind. And what I realized was that if Ernest had done pancake commercials, Ernest, the character, probably likes pancakes. If he likes pancakes and knows where Bulgarian Miak is, he probably puts that Miak on his pancakes.
I mean, on the drive from Old Lady Hackmore's place, they stop there and they get it.
Yeah, he has to know where to get it and where it's at.
So, I love this. I love that you put this thing together.
Well, thank you. It was a lot of fun, honestly.
I mean, I just like the questions that you asked. You also have milk and yak in here, kind of like and you use the word portmanteau. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. So what it says is I think Miak is a portmanteau of milk and yak. And I've always thought this since I was a little kid. I can't prove it, but I really think it is.
So in the end, like what's your favorite part of this data art? So you went all in on this. What was the most gratifying find of this data article for you?
So I think the most gratifying part to me was realizing that Ernest, our dumb, denim-clad hero, almost defeated the troll by accident. The most earnest thing possible, because you can kill the troll by milk and milk substances. It could be ice cream, it could probably be cheese, honestly. But it was funny because it's like everyone's like making fun of Ernest, like, oh, he's so dumb, he brought Miak, but he brought something that could actually defeat the troll.
I love it. And now the troll shows outward fear at milk trucks and milk and ice cream. He shows no fear towards Miak, but he's also been in the ground for a very long time. And I don't know if Bulgarian Miak had made its way over to the United States yet. So do you think the troll's when the troll goes Miak, do you think he doesn't sense it is a yogurt substance that we think it is, but it doesn't know it because it's unfamiliarity with, because it probably wouldn't know what ice cream is either, but does it smell it? But since it's in a stoneware jar, he probably didn't have time to smell the thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I just think he didn't know what it was. And what's this dumb guy I've already fought? Like, what does he think it is? It's definitely not milk.
And then he blows him away with like acid breath.
Yeah.
But thank you so much, man. It was nice not to talk about something I wrote. Nice to have you come on and talk about this. This is a lot of fun.
Thanks. I'm very happy that you decided to publish it.
No, I love it. And so for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for the author, David Cross, the host or co-host of Award Wieners podcast, listen to it. This is Movies, Films, and Flicks Data. We'll see you next week.